Hey, welcome back. It's Artist Cycling. I'm Greg Leach. I had started on this piece and went, wait a minute, this is the perfect final stage painting of this year's Tour de France. I am still painting the women's. You should be able to see that video. I'll try to remember to load it before I load this one. So, this is always a challenging image. But right before, normally this moment is done after the race starts, but so much time is spent just noodling along in the race, but they're a little more concerned that it might be a bit more racing this year because of the change in the course. So they're getting the photo ops done prior to the end of the neutral rollout. So here we go. I think I enjoy doing these more. I've also got some space problems. So I mapped out the heads, but I didn't put them far enough apart. But, so it goes. I would say nobody will ever see it, but this will be a very famous Tour de France photograph as well. I'm sure there are a phalanx of motorcycles lined up to get this picture right now, just off of our camera. So just imagine they're spread out just a little bit more. Like they actually like each other in my painting. I'm sure they're very fond of each other. And I'm sure they're also very fond to have this successfully completed for them. So I feel like I should be giving you all some music because I got to spend a lot of time thinking on this one. But there, you can hear the thunder instead, maybe. Just having a thunderstorm roll through here, which from my understanding will be appropriate given what I know is going to happen at the end of the stage. I try to maintain a news blackout until I paint a stage. I have no idea. I think we all know that Tade's won the Tour de France, and I can't imagine anything's going to prevent that from happening. Certainly hope so, because, as much as my guy didn't win, I don't wish Tade any demise. Oops, gotta make sure we get Navarez. So he's the only one that doesn't have the new jersey, which will become obvious in a little bit. Well, that's not quite true. The two national champions on this team are wearing their regular kit. And of course, sorry, this is taking a long time. This is one of the reasons I don't like to do big complicated images. I thought this would be fun for you all. Maybe not. You know, I'm always a little hesitant to ride on no-handed. I've had some bikes with bent frames, and so balancing one of those is always a bit of a challenge. And I don't spend the kind of time on my bike that these guys do. I mean, they've been spending 5-6 hours a day just in the tour. So, of course, you know, not only they ride in no hands, but they're also locking arms. Doesn't make me nervous at all. That marking didn't work out well. Yeah, that was not at all what I meant to do. In many years past, this has been a very sought after image of my paintings. I'm not sure this one's going to be. What you can't see yet, but you will be able to see, are just how these were altered to commemorate having the yellow jersey on there. I love spam calls, don't you? So of course, you know, they've got the yellow jersey on their team, so they're going to be wearing. They always trick it out, and that's one of these cute little rules. And so teams have to kind of wait because if they change their kit, they're only allowed to do it, I think, just one time during a season. So a lot of teams will wait and change it during the tour, particularly if, you know, looks like they got a chance to do well. Sorry, this is taking a lot longer than I expected. So now we'll start laying in the color. And if you noticed, there was no preliminary drawing other than just me marking where the heads went in sort of an effort to get them set up. But I forgot to allow for the arms. Oh well. So what they have done is put this little, so they have some black and white usually on their kit, sort of splashed about, although it's not on the front like this. So this is how they've decided they were going to celebrate their yellow. And then the way their bars are, they only have tape at the very end of the bars. In fact, Tade has rode the time trial, both of them in fact, without any bar tape. So I'm already freaking out that people ride without gloves. But I can't imagine adding no bar tape to that as well. Whereas most of us ride with that gel or thick bar tape. Get a little extra shock absorption. Do you all do that? How many of you all ride? Now that I think about it. Are you guys here for the art or here for the cycling or a little bit of both? Give Narber's a little darker skin tone here. Okay, now we'll come through with the reds. So the same old pattern. Now Tade's allowed to wear a yellow helmet just because, that would be just rude not to let him. But you'll notice when I get to it that nobody else is wearing a yellow helmet. And that's because that honor is a demarcation of the winning team, which Tade's team is not. Yes, they have the winner on their team, but they are not the winning team. So, we're still preparing for a race, so the rest of the peloton is all loitering. Back here, waiting for the flag to pull in. Says, okay, here we go, we're going to race now. So they're all, getting out of the camera, giving Tade his moment with his team. And, I think I've talked about it, so I'm not going to dwell on it now, but there's no winning the Tour de France without a good team behind you. A lot was made about Vingegaard's team being the stronger team. And that might have been borne out by the fact that they won the team competition. But let's face it, it's all about winning the yellow jersey. That's the ultimate goal. It still should be noted that while Vingegaard didn't win, he did place second, which continues the streak, which is true for both of them, Tade and Jonas. If they're in the Tour, they finish either first or second every single time. They've never finished third, fourth. Always Can't get over these bars. They look like the old English racers that I first started riding when I was a kid. My parents got us all bikes. And I don't know the reasoning behind it, but my sister, who is 5 years older, and I got the same size bike. Hers, was a girl's version because that was a thing people worried about back then. And mine was a boy's version. So Christmas morning, I go down and there's a brand new bicycle that I can't ride. I wasn't bitter. Yeah. And of course, that was back when the Stingray, or the banana seat bike, was all the rage for us kids, particularly male kids. So not exactly the bike I really wanted. But once I could fit it, I rode it, and rode it a lot. Any bike will do. These guys are riding. That used to always be this debate, people talking about, you've got to have the latest tech and all that. And of course, this was when Lance Armstrong was racing. I was like, look, he could show up in a Huffy from Walmart and kick all of our asses. No one disagreed. So I will shortly start, really get to the business of painting this race. And they'll get to the business of racing it for the last day. I really don't know how this is going to play out. Again, if you're not aware, whoops. Oh, I don't even know who that is. Somebody's short stayed white. Here, let me see if I can figure out who that is. It's probably Pavel Sibikov. And if you'll notice, every team started with 8 riders. And I bet you can figure out that there aren't 8 guys here, but 7, because one of their team members crashed out in stage 9. He actually crashed out sooner and tried to keep racing, but by stage 9, it's like, yeah, I can't do this anymore, guys. Nobody ever wants to leave the tour once they've started. Particularly not when you've got the yellow jersey. By that point, Tade had pretty much sealed up the jersey. There's going to be no surprise. Oh, I also see another thing I need to do over here yet. In there. So who finished the race? I know this is Adam Yates over here on the end. Of course, Pagacci in the middle. Niels Pollitt, who was just a beast, chasing down breakaways, riding tempo the entire tour. Between them, who is that? Now, this is Tim Willens over here, and that is Pavel, and of course, Navarez. Fairly international team as well. It's always interesting. I kind of check that out. Some of the French teams are comprised of almost entirely French riders. Other teams are very mixed. It's pretty rare that any team is all different nationalities. But I mean, it doesn't matter. So I forgot Tade's black sleeve. He's still covering up that arm he went down on when everybody waited for him. He did pay that back when most of his competitors got caught in a crash or caught up behind it if they didn't go down, and he got everybody to wait. So this is the final video of the men's race. Of course, the women are only on stage 2, so there'll be a lot more of those, but I do appreciate you watching. I hope you've enjoyed the tour. Some say it was boring because it got cinched up. I disagree. There was certainly a lot of other things going on. And I appreciate y'all watching. Tell me what you think. Oh, I like everybody but Tade in this painting. I look tie-dye fine. Thank you all. And be sure to check out my cycling blog, theartofcycling.blogspot.com. And of course my website where you can buy these paintings, Greg Leach. You can see it spelled there, or just use the code. Thank you guys.